to Age of Empires Definitive Edition. I'm so excited we're all here. I'm going to show you guys how to do this whole thing, and it's going to be exciting. There's many different types of ways to play this game, and there's a strategical way of going about doing it, or there's the fun way where you can just build your empire. It's one of those point and clicks, and you're going to be moving all over the place, but sometimes it does feel like there's a lot going on that's too hard to keep track of all at once. But I want to show you guys how to just make it simple and easy, and you can focus on just what you need to and not be wandering around wondering what on earth is going on, what do I do. So I want to just start off with a very simple, this is not me trying to conquer the game, this is not me trying to be the best. I just want to make it slow, easy going, and so you guys can understand how to get a good army going on, a good balance of gold, wood, and food, and explore the map and have us a good time. So let's start. I'm going to start with single player. I'm going to do skirmish. Now, before you start the game, they're going to give you some options, and this is the loading screen. So let's get started here. The first thing you can do, you can notice that my name right here, you can be any color you want to be. The only thing I don't want to be is green, because green blends in with the background of the grasslands really well, and it's hard to see. So I want to just go ahead and pick my color. I think I'm going to be red. That's a good color. And then my AI opponents will be blue and I think that's orange, I believe. But there are 9 other slots altogether, and you can choose which one you want. But I'm just going to start with the 2. They're going to give you some civilizations here that you can pick from, and there's many different types. You can be the Chinese if you want. You can be the Italians. And each one has its own different perk and its own abilities, and it's pretty cool. So what you want to do is you're going to want to pick the one that best suits what type of battle you're wanting to fight against. You can do strength. You can just go in there with your horses, or for me, what I like to do is the Britons, because the Britons have that bow and arrow, and they're able to fight with the range, and that's what I appreciate. I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and be the Britons. And I don't know what they're going to be. I'll find out once we start playing the game. Now, over here, we have sudden death. That's cool. I want that. Location, coastal. That's great. Now, if you click on the coastal button, you do have different maps going on. It tells you different areas, and you can be snow, water, forest. It depends on what kind of gameplay you're wanting. If you want to be a navy battle, or do you want just land? For me, I like a little balance of everything, so that's why I picked coastal, because it's got a little bit of land and a little bit of land, a little bit of water, and that gives me more room to fish, more room to explore if I have to. And each map is generated differently, so I don't know what the outcome's going to be. And just because it looks like this is a little tiny picture is not what it's going to be in the box. But this will be the similar. Very similar of what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on coastal. Map size. That's a good map medium, because we're only playing with 2 other players, the AI, and anything larger than that is going to take an immense time to get across the map, and it's going to take a little longer to do. So I think medium is a good start for that. Difficulty standard. Anything higher than standard is going to be a little rough for new beginners, because hard and hardest extreme is going to be, you're going to be annihilated in 5 minutes. So keep it standard. That's a good match. Resources are high. I like to have my resources high. You can have them low or crazy all over the place. I like to have them just high, a good balance. Population 200. You can go higher, but I like to keep them just a simple 200. And that way we'll get good balance. This is not about dividing and conquer. This is about learning how to go with the flow and learning what you need to advance to the next age. Reveal the map. Let's just do normal, because there's no need for us to see the whole entire land. I like a little I like to be able to give myself that challenge and explore the entire map myself rather than just them giving it to me. It can be different if you want that map to be all revealed and then be easier for you, but I'm just going to go ahead and start with just the normal map. Starting age, we're going to start with the standard, the very beginning, and then you're going to advance all the way up to Imperial Age. And what you want is you want to be able to reach Imperial Age. That is the goal right there. That's the age we're all trying to get to. But right now, we got to make it through 1, 2, 3, 4 other ages before we get to Imperial Age. And it's going to require a lot of resources to be able to do that. So victory, conquest, and game mode is sudden death. So I'm happy, we're good. All down here is the team settings. I'm not going to mess with that because that's just, I can give myself a handicap if I want to, and give myself different resources starting off. And then advanced settings, which you can do if you want to have turbo mode going on or record the game, which is cool. I'm just going to go ahead and leave all that empty right now because this is just a basic tutorial. Watch how I'm doing it. All right, here we go. I think we're set. I'm going to start the game. Cool. I'm fighting the Persians and the Koreans. So I'm going to be fighting elephants and cards. That's my enemy right there. Cool. Okay, so they've loaded the game up. And the first thing we're going to be popped with is what is going on. We got all this stuff going on. We got the town center here. We got this bar up here. We got this thing going on. We got this black diamond shape down here. And this little box over here. Like, it's a lot all at once. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what you guys need to look at for the very first thing. One of the first things they're going to give you when you start off your game, they're going to give you 3 servants. They got 1, 2, 3, a scout, which is a horse, right over here. They're going to give you some sheep. I want my sheep to come over here to the town center, and they're going to give you some wood. And what you're going to want to do is start exploring. So you're going to take this horse, you're going to highlight this horse, and you're going to right-click anywhere it can go. I can make it go anywhere I want to on the screen. Also, I can make it go anywhere I want to on the map. So if I highlight the horse, and then I'm going to click anywhere on the map, right click on the map, while I have the horse highlighted, it will go to that destination. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and expand the darkness over here and give myself a little bit more room to see what's going on in the shadows. So right now we have stone, I see sheep, I see wood. There's a little patch of water right there. There's a little deer right there. That's good for food. That didn't really give us much to work with right now. They just put us in the middle of nowhere. So I'm just seeing what's going on. So what I want to do, my very first thing that I want to do is look up here. I have 1,000 wood. I have 1,000 food. I have 700 gold, and I have 800 stone. And this right here is the population. So I have a bunch of people. This is what I started with. I have 4 people that I started with right now. I have my scout, my 3 servants, and I can create 1 more before my population is full because that says 5 right there. So I can only create 5 people. So all I want to do is I want to create 1 more villager. So I click on my town center, and the little box down here has a couple options you can click on. But this little symbol with a villager says create villager. It's going to cost me 50 food to buy. So what I want to do is I want to look at my chart up here. I have 1,000, so I have more than enough to be able to buy that. So I'm going to buy 1. I'm going to create 1 villager, and while that's coming out, I'm going to put the rest of these guys to work. So I want this guy right here. Any one of these can do the same thing. So because this one's my choosing, I want this one to harvest the sheep. And this one, I'm going to put to work chopping wood. So I'm going to right click on the wood, and you can see it's going straight to the wood right over here. And that's good. So we got some wood coming in. That person's harvesting the sheep. And this person is going to I have the choice of being able to go to sheep, wood, or I can start doing another project, which I'm going to go ahead and have her do stone. So I right clicked on the stone because I see stone right over here. So she's working on the stone, she's working on the wood, and he's working on the sheep, which is great. And I got one extra villager right over here, and he's just standing there because no, I'm not giving him any orders to do anything yet. So I just told him to go right over here for a second so I can see him on the open. And what I want to do is I want to create more houses so I can get more villagers going on. So what I did is I clicked on if you click down here in the little bar, you'll see the hammer and the gold bag. That's my resource buildings. And I have a house, I have a windmill, I have a mining camp, I have a build lumber camp, and I have a dock. And each one has a different amount that I can use. And all this requires wood to be able to build. So I want him to be able to build me at least 3 houses right now. So I highlight the villager, click the house, and then I can go anywhere I want on this map. Obviously if it's flashing red, that means I can't place it down. But I'm gonna go ahead and keep it neat. I'm gonna place my other house right there. I'm gonna build another one. Now, if you can see, he stopped what he was doing on that one once I placed another house down, and he stopped and he went to go build that one. Look, we got an enemy coming to check us out right now, which that's fine. That's a scout. They found us. Let him pass through. Now, every time he builds a house or a construction, he's going to stop whatever he's doing because I have him highlighted. I've given him a new project. But he will continue to finish the construction in the area because I don't have to keep telling him to build all the houses every time. He'll just build them automatically. As long as I have a constructed area going on, he will stop what he's doing and go straight to that. But right now he's finished building about 4 houses, and now I can put him to work for something else. And of course you can see the enemy is checking us out. Now down here we have me, I'm on the bottom. We have the 2 other enemies right over here. We have the blue and the yellow, which you can see that they're moving all over the place. That means they're doing stuff, they're building, and that's their score right now. So that tells me that I'm on the bottom, and they're doing much better than I am right now. But that's okay, because we're just taking it slow and easy. And you can see them wandering around, checking us out. I want my scout to be able to move around. I'm going to go over here, I'm going to highlight my scout, and I'm going to go down to this box. I have different options for the scout. I can have the scout patrol, I can have the scout guard, I can have the scout follow, attack move, aggressive stance, defensive stance, stand ground, and no attack stance. But this is just a scout. I really can't do much damage with this one horse. So I'm just going to go ahead and send him off, and I'm going to hit this little compass auto scout, and he's going to go off and discover stuff without me having to go and click on things. So he just found gold for me right over here. So I want to send this villager right over here, and I want him to start working on gold because that is priority right there. So we have my first villager working on sheep. I have 1 villager working on wood. I have 1 villager working on stone, which is not quite necessary right now, but it is good to start getting some stone going in. And I have 1 villager working on gold. And I've done this all within 4 villagers. And one of the things that people like to do is they like to come in, they come to town center and say, I'm going to try to bust out as many villagers as I can. And that's great, but as long as you have a balance going on. Because otherwise you're just filling in spots that can be used for something else. But I am going to create probably about 6 more villagers, because each villager costs 50 food, and I have 1,000 so far, and that's good. So now I have 797, and that's really good right now. We want that number. We don't really want the food to go below 500 because we're not going to be able to afford anything, and we want to be able to keep all our resources at a high number. So now we have a villager. She just popped out. I'm gonna put her to work by building us a windmill, and a windmill is going to help us collect better food. So I'm gonna go ahead and create that right there. And then while she's building the windmill, I'm gonna go ahead and create a farm. But I can't create a farm until the windmill is created. So there's nothing I can really do right now except for wait until the windmill is completed. Now I can have other people help build the buildings, and they will be completed faster. So I'll put all three of them to work building the windmill, and they just finished. Awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and create some farms.
Ready.
Now, what the farms cost 60 wood each, and one of the things you can do is it provides a limited amount of food before it goes fallow and must be rebuilt. And in order for that to be happening, it requires wood. So farms are going to suck up wood, but they will give you food in replacement. So I'm going to go ahead and send these guys over here. I got a little number of villagers going on. I'm going to put all these guys to work building me a farm. And I'm going to go ahead and place a farm down anywhere on the map. And I'm going to go over here, click on the hammer and the gold. Right under the house is the farm selection. And I'm going to go ahead and surround my town center with as much farms as I can. And the reason why I want them close to my town center is because the building, they will walk the food to the town center, and that takes a little bit of time. So the closer they are to the town center, the shorter distance they will have to walk, and you'll get your food faster. So I'm gonna send this guy out. So now we have about seven pieces of farm, and that's great. So we got our farm circling our town center right now. Now we still have these guys over here doing chopping wood, and we only have one on stone and one on gold. So I'm going to go ahead and put some more focus on this wood over here. And I'm going to go ahead and build myself a lumber camp. I think right over here would be a good start because they're having to walk. Right now they're having to walk from the trees to my town center and from the trees to the town center, and that's taking some time. So if I get a lumberjack going on, they won't have to go all the way to town center. They'll just drop it off at the lumber camp, and that's great. And that helps a lot. So we got this one guy building it, and now if you can see up here, my population is 25. So I can still create a couple more villagers. I'm gonna go ahead and create some for the lumberjack party. I'll create 5 villagers for the lumberjack party, and if you look closely under the resources, there's a number under each resource, and I have 2 working on wood right now. I have 7 on food, and I have 1 on gold, and that's how many villagers are working on each resource. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that to each villager. I want them all. I'm gonna start focusing my villagers on the wood forest right now. And as you can see, we're starting to build. Our community is building right now. We got some resources going on. I'm not too worried about the stone over here. Like I said, I'm going to leave her alone for a little bit until we start needing some stone. But we are going to start needing some gold here in a second, so I'll get some more people on that. I have the town center. If you right-click anywhere, that's where they're going to come out. The little flag is going to be placed down. And that is where they're going to come out, and they're going to wait for you to be put to work. So right now I have them coming out and standing right here, and that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and just send them straight to the woods. And now they're going on. So you can see my number rose, no longer 7. Now it is climbing higher. And these guys right here are going to be supporting the farmland right over here. So now we have a balance. You can see our food is rising, our wood is rising, and now I want to go ahead and create some more villagers. I want to go create 2 more villagers, and I'm going to put them on gold. But see, this guy over here with the gold is still having to walk all the way to town center to bring me the gold. So what I want to do is I want to create a shorter pathway from the gold to the town center. So I'm going to go ahead and create a mining camp. So we're going to go down here to our buildings. We're going to mining camp cost 100. wood, and I'm going to go ahead and build it near the gold. And that way he's not having to walk all the way back to the town center. So I got that going. And then you can have one person build it or all of them build it. It will go faster if you have more villagers building the mining camp. Now, let's go check out our scout really fast. My scout has made its way all the way through and discovered all this land. And look at that. My scout has discovered the enemy base going on right now. And that's good to have so I know where they are, where they're coming from. But I'm going to go ahead and just go back to my village and just see what's going on. It's kind of the first 10 minutes are very important in the game because you want all this going on as fast as possible. Now, as you can see, I'm ready. I have 870 wood, 1,400 food. I have 850 gold. I am now able to advance to the next age, and I want to go to the feudal age, which is going to cost me about 500 food. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, but that's going to stop me from creating any more villagers until that research is done. So you can see the bar is going to be up to here. It's loading. Also, it tells me up here as well what the age is going to be for the next age. And then once we get to the next age, I can start upgrading things and advancing equipment. Right now, we have these guys working on the gold. And look they're not having to walk all the way back to the town center. Now they're going straight to the gold mine. That's awesome. Getting some gold going on. And these guys are dropping off wood straight at the lumberjack. That's awesome. And that's going to give us our resources a lot faster than just trying to walk back to the town center from far away distances. You can see, look at the farm depleted a little bit, but because we have that wood, he was able to automatically just renew that farm. No problem whatsoever. And I'm not doing anything right now. They're all doing it all on their own right now. I don't have to click on things. I'm fine. They are all upgrading on their own. Now, I got this one person chopping wood over here, but I want to send her over here to the rest of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight. Remember, to move a character, you highlight them and then you right-click anywhere on the screen. But if you wanted to give them a choice, you right-click on the wood or whatever resource you're wanting them to go after. So I just advanced to the feudal age, and now we can start upgrading certain things. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my town center, which is the wheelbarrow. Villagers work more efficiently by moving 10% faster and carrying 25% more houses. So what I want to do is get that going as fast as possible. And that will help them all gather resources a lot faster. Okay, so we are into the next age now, and I'm very excited because now we can start advancing a lot more things, and we can start upgrading a lot more tools. We have quite the companions of wood chopping. We have the villagers doing the farming. I have some villagers doing gold, which is great over here. Now we can start upgrading some tools. So the first thing I got going on is I've upgraded the town center wheelbarrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and give myself also the upgrade for the line of sight. So this dark area right over here, these buildings will shed light further into the darkness. And that's also good too. So we can, I don't have to keep sending all my scouts all over the place. It'll give us more visible vision with what we got with our buildings. So now, what I want to do is I want to upgrade my wood lumberjack, because right now they're still cutting with the primitive axes. So I want to give them better axes to cut wood with, and that will give us better resources in the end. And you can see it's loading. It's going to cost some time. And then I'm going to go over here and give them help with the gold upgrades. And they're doing gold. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the gold. And that way we can have more gold. And then, of course, with the farm, I want to go ahead and research the horse collar. That will give them better tools to farm the farm with. And we'll get more out of the farms than we were before. And now that we have these things, and every time something is upgraded, a little, it will tell you in the corner up here, gold mine research complete, horse cart research complete. And that's great. Now you're all set for that. You don't have to worry anymore. Now, what I want to do is start back focusing on my population, and I want to go ahead and give myself some more villagers now because I only have 20. I can only create 5 more, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself 5 more. And the first one that's going to come out, I'm going to build some more houses. And you can start off with building nothing but houses and get that all out of the way as long as you have the wood for it. But if you spend all your wood on houses, then you're not going to have any wood for farms, and then you're going to take a little longer, and you're going to leave yourself vulnerable for enemies to attack you, and you're not going to have any defense. So I just want to go ahead and just make sure you don't spend all your money all your resources on just the house right off the bat when you need them for the tools. I'm gonna go ahead and just build my houses right here. Now you can see this villager is just standing there because I told them to go there with the flag, and they're not really able to see this house over here, so they're just gonna continue standing there until I give them something to do, and that's fine. I'll give them something to do here in a second, but you can see she is finishing these houses without me having to tell her to build them. All I have to do is place them down on the map. I want to go ahead and send these guys, I want them to build me a barracks. And I think a barracks will go good here. We keep it close to the town center. And to build a barracks, we go to the sword and the hammer, the military buildings. And the military buildings give you a barracks, a build outpost, a build a parasol wall, a wooden wall, a build stone wall, a watchtower, and a build gate, and a wooden gate. And then what we're going to do is, once you have those options available to you, you cannot create an archery range or a stable until you build a barracks, because the barracks opens up all the rest of the military buildings. So you could be in the castle age, and if you have not built a barracks yet, you will not be able to get to the archer, the stable, or the steed's workshop. So it's very important to have your barracks right off the bat. Now, I have some villagers standing around. They're waiting to be put to work, so I'm going to go ahead and just send them straight to more wood. And that way we can start working on that. I'm going to go ahead and take one villager because I didn't want him to go all the way to the wood. I want to go ahead and send him over here. Now, two new buildings have been available to us since we entered the feudal age, and I want to go ahead and create a market. And a market is going to cost 175 wood, and I want him to build it as it does not matter where you build it, but I like to keep it in the area. So I will build it right here. And remember, where you put your buildings, you got to come back. You got to remember where you put them. So I like to remember where they were, so it's easy for me to find them.
Ready.
I'm going to go ahead and send this villager straight to the gold. They got their scouts running back and forth, and that's fine. Let them, they know where we are, I know where they are. So I want to go ahead and create a little bit of a militia going on. And I'm going to create my barracks. I'm going to have them come out either here, I can have them come out here, I can have them come out here. So I'm just going to have them come out in the front. And if I don't click them, if I don't click a flag, they'll just surround around the building. They won't move. But I want them to come out in the open so I can see them. And so I'm going to go ahead and create a militia which costs 60 food and 20 gold. And that is an all-purpose infantry unit, which is pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and create 10 of those. And that will give us some defense. Now, see these scouts running around? When they come out, they're going to start chasing these scouts all over the place. And so what I want to do is tell them to stand their ground so they're not chasing these scouts. But so we got our first soldier. And I'm going to go ahead and hit guard. You highlight the soldier, and then you can have them attack move or no attack stance or stand your ground. Which I want stand your ground is much better. So I have highlighted stand your ground, and they're not going to move around but you have to highlight all of them. Because if you only have one standing your ground and the rest of them are going to do whatever they want, you have to highlight all of them to stand your ground. So let them stand their ground. They'll be fine. They'll be good. Because right now I'm not wanting to attack anything. I just want my defense. Now, if something happens where we were to get attacked, then at least I have a little bit of something I can throw at them. So our market has been built. And what I want to do is look at it. We have our wood we can sell. We can sell food, wood, or stone. And we also can buy wood, food, and stone. And in order to do that, I always look at my gold because it's not going to really do much without the gold. We have a lot of wood going on, and we have a lot of food. So I want to go ahead and sell some of that wood. And you can see my gold just rose up every time I click on selling the wood. And my wood decreased and my gold increased every time I sold. And that gives me more options to be able to buy if I'm getting low. My villagers are now spreading out more from the lumber camp, so I want to build another lumber camp so they don't have to walk nearly as far. And that's pretty good still. Some people might wait a little longer, but for me, I want to keep that lumberjack as close to them as possible because that means more wood as fast as possible. The villagers that are standing around will be shown up here in the idle villager bar. And all you have to do is click on that and it'll bring you straight to the villager that is not doing anything. And then you can have them assign something, but I have him kind of sitting around not really doing anything because he's my building guy. And I got lots of buildings that I'm trying to build right now. So now that I have my barracks and a few other options, I want to build a watchtower. I'm going to put that watchtower right in the middle of my town center because I don't have to have an army to defend myself. They'll just throw arrows at the scouts that are walking by, and it's a good way of keeping people at bay. We got about 4 people working on gold. That's great. I still haven't really done anything with the stone yet, but our next age is the castle age, so I want to go ahead and start getting some workers for the stone. Now, if right now they're going to come out right here where the flag is placed, but if I click on the town center and I click on the stone, they'll go straight from the town center to the stone, and that's great. That's what I want them to do. So I want to have this person, so you can see that she came out and she's going straight to the stone. I didn't have to tell her to go. She's going straight there. But you got to be careful because if you walk away and you forget your villagers are all going to the stone or the wood or the gold, that's where they're all going to go. You're going to be like, where do my villagers go? Oh, they're all doing this thing. So I like to keep them at a destination until we're ready to go to the, assign the next another project. So this guy's done with his farming. Or no, that was my sheep guy. What I want him to do is I want him to build a stone mine camp right here. And you can see these guys are continuing to farm. He's building a stone mining camp right next to the stones. And then they're going to be able to bring the stone to the mining camp and not the town center. That's going to be great. And that'll give me a lot more stone. So, now that we have a good balance going on, we're doing much better than we were before. You can see we got some workers bustling around with the woods. We got about an even match people in the stone, even match people in the gold. I want to give a little bit more people to the gold because we're going to be plowing through gold fast. So I'm going to send about 4 villagers to the gold, but I'm going to send them over here on this hill right over here, and that way I can highlight them all and then put them on the gold all at once. Now that my militia is standing there, I can highlight them all. And you want them to be able to, you want as much as you can. And this is a good defense. I have 11 here right now. 11 soldiers is a good defense. Anything that comes at me, I'm pretty confident that we can show them what's up. But I want to be able to upgrade their armor. So let's go down to the barracks, click on the barracks, and then upgrade man-at-arms, give them some armor, and then also give them line of sight so they can see further too. So I got 2 things being upgraded right now. In order to do that, it's going to cost me 150 food and 65 gold. My war horn just went off. My scout is poking its nose in enemy's territory, and you can see they're shooting at him right now. So I want to stay away from all of that. So I'm gonna bring him back home because he has discovered where the blue is, and he's discovered where the yellow is. So I know where they are now. And look, at blue is going to give us some trouble because they're really advancing. But my score sheet says that yellow is more advanced than the blue. So we're going to go ahead and move them. I know where they are. I don't have to worry about my scout finding them anymore. So I'm going to bring my scout back home. These guys, I want this into the gold. And then now we got a good force going with the gold. I'm happy. My scout has been wounded a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to send him over here. You can see that my army has been upgraded a little bit. Now, if you click on the army, again, you have different options. If you hit patrol, you can right-click, and they'll go to that patrol mark, but watch what happens. They're going to go there, and they're going to turn back over here. And that's patrol right over here. They're going to set right where they were standing, and they're going to go back to where they were standing from where you clicked on the patrol. And they're just going to walk back and forth. That's a good way of them marking where they are. And of course, I'm moving my horse out of the way so they're not walking around. Now, another thing you can do is you have different flank formations, which is pretty good because you keep them all close together. Line formation, box formation, staggered formation. You can do... which is pretty cool. You can separate them. You can have them all on each side if you want, which is good for the flanking. But I like to keep them together for now. It's fine, and that's fine. I'm gonna leave them alone for a little bit because we're still climbing up to the top. Now, my population up here is flashing 45. That means I cannot create any more people until I create more houses. So more houses is demanded. So what I'm gonna do is, rather than me creating a villager, because I can't create a villager, I'm going to take one from the wood, and I'm going to have her just build me some houses right here. Now, a faster way of building houses is hitting the Q key on the keyboard. If you just hit Q key, you can just place down houses much faster than trying to click on the actual screen. And look at now, she's got that whole area being built, and I don't have to worry about her because she's going to build all those houses without me having to watch her. And then our population will go from 45. Each house goes up 5. 5 increases by 5. And if you look closely, if you want a little bit more details, it tells you the loading screen of the actual construction. The armor of the house is very weak. It's -1/8, which anybody can attack them. If you can compare them to a soldier, which tells you their armor, and their sword, which they actually have attack sword of 6. My scout has an attack of 5. So these soldiers are much more strong than the actual scout itself. That's why so the weakest military militia I have is the scout, and that's fine because we're about to get much stronger than we are now. I have a villager standing around. I'm going to go ahead and put him to work. I want a stable going on so we can start upgrading our horses. I want a stable to go right there. Also, I think what I'm going to do is also build an archery so we can get our stable and archery going on, and we can have them upgraded to advance the next step. And you can see she's still building houses, which has increased my population a little bit. And he's starting to build some more military buildings, which is great. I can get my army going on. And now I'm going to click on my town center. And what does it say? It says I need 2 more buildings to reach to the next castle age. So once these buildings are complete, I will be able to advance to the next stage. I will be able to click on the button to go to the castle age. And they're really plowing through the wood, and we are at a really good number up here. We have about 11. We have 3,000 wood, 3,000 food, 4,000 gold. We're doing pretty good. If you can see up here, my advanced stage is flashing at me, so it's telling me I can go to the next stage. So I'm going to do that right now. And it's going to cost me 800 food and 200 gold. And that's fine. And we have more than enough for that. So let that happen. And we will advance to the next stage. I'm going to go ahead and you can see a scout has been coming through again, but my tower was shooting at him. And watch what happens here. Watch what happens. They all left their patrol. Oh, I'm lagging. And now they're chasing the scout. I did not have to tell them to chase the scout, but I don't want them to chase the scout. So I want to go back here, come back, and just stand your ground. Which they're not. Which stand your ground is units ordered to stand your ground. Do not move from their position to attack the enemy. They can attack from range if possible. So if I have, so this stance actually is best for archery, not the soldiers. But that's okay. I'm not really worried about it. Now watch, they're not really going to do anything because I have them standing their ground. But if I hit aggressive stance, now they're going to go find the enemy until it leaves the line of sight. And that's what you want them to be on, is aggressive stance. But if you don't want them, if you want them to be in one spot, stand your ground. I'm going to go ahead and create some archers. Give myself some 10 archers going on. And I'm not really going to waste my time with these creating more scouts. That's just going to waste more food. They're good for a quick defense, but they're not really going to do much damage. So yellow has requested that I send them some food and gold and they will ally with us on our side. But I am going to ignore them because this is about me trying to show you guys how to attack, not be allies with other people. So now that we have advanced to the castle age, I'm going to go ahead and create a castle. So what you're going to do is select a villager, go to your military buildings, the hammer and sword, and create a castle. Now you want your castle to be... The great things about the castle is that they not only provide more population, they act just like a house, but they also are a great watchtower too. They will fire arrows at anyone passing by them. So they act as a watchtower and a house all in one. So what I want that to happen is I want my castle to be fairly close to the city, which I can access at any time. And I'll go ahead and just place that right there. And that's close enough, so if anybody wants to come poking around, my castle is defending all of my houses right now. Now, my villager over here has finished creating houses, so I want her to go back to chopping wood. And I still have some archeries coming out. And now that we've advanced to the castle age, I got more options for the horses. And what you want is these knights over here. Create knight. But I want to upgrade them first. And they'll move 10% faster than the actual scout. So once they have that upgraded, one of the things you can do to help move along, if you're rather than just building one building at a time, I would build at least 3 of each. And that way you'll be able to produce more at a faster rate than just waiting for each one to come out. Alright, so I have my archeries. I'm moving my archeries forward a little bit. And that way I have a little bit of a good army. They're still coming out. I got 3 more people coming out of the archery. They've upgraded my knights, so I'm going to go ahead and create about 10 knights. Now I also have the option to upgrade my soldiers again. Now this is a point in the game where you got to make a decision, because now that I have my stables, I really don't want to focus my attention on the soldiers. They are strong and they will put up a good defense, but you're going to be wasting a lot of gold and wood just trying to get these guys upgraded and powerful. And it's much easier just to have an onslaught of knights than it is for you to upgrade these guys, because by the time you guys upgrade these guys and have them all set, you could have a whole army of knights going on. So that's what I'm doing right now. I got this stable full of knights coming out. I got this stable full of knights coming out. And what I want to do now is start focusing on keeping my woodsmen closer to the woods. You can see the trail they are following. The ground turns brown if there used to be a forest there. But now it's not. So there's that. The gold is being taken very fast, and I want to upgrade the gold because now I can get some more gold, better gold going on. And as you can see, my army is growing, and I want that I want them to pile up as much as possible, and I can start sending them other places. Because I look on the map now. One of the better things you can do is you can look at the map. You can see that from the north I got the blue, and from the east I have the yellow. So what I want to do, obviously they're not going to come up behind me, so they're kind of useless standing here. So I want them to start going to the front. We have a cliff here. They cannot climb these cliffs, so I'm going to go ahead and just send them one army here, and I'll have my horses defend this side right over here. And now we have a good defense going on. We have our castle. So now this is what I was talking about in the beginning, where we can start becoming really using our advantage to our archeries. And I want to go ahead and focus all archery attention on these longbowmen. And they cost 35 wood and 40 gold. And it says the British unique archer is very long range, strong versus infantry. So if I get a lot of these guys together, I don't really have to do hard battle. Now look at, they're chasing the scout, and they killed him immediately and that keeps them out of my town. And they're not going to like that, because now that my scouts are being pushed back at bay, they're going to want to start sending armies my way because they don't know what's going on in my town. So they're going to start trying to conquer. I want these horses to start gathering here, and they're doing exactly what I want them to do. Start defending the outskirts of the land. Now, I've still left myself open up over here a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and start developing some more armies right over here. And there's our berry bush right there, so that's pretty good. But right now, we're doing pretty good. I want some more food going on. The more army you create, the more food and gold intake is going to be going through. So I'm thinking about maybe creating some more villagers to help with the food. So I'm going to start doing that. And I'm going to upgrade our handcart and our research town patrol. And that way, our resources will come in even more faster. And it gets even more better as we go. Because we are in the castle stage, I can now upgrade my lumber. So now we have bow saw, which will give us 10% faster wood. The windmill, no longer, we now have the research the heavy plow. I'm going to go ahead and research the heavy plow.
Ready.
Okay, cool. And I'm going to go ahead and create a windmill right here. And that way I can have them collecting berries and I can expand my farm, which I'll do that right now. As you can see, my bowmen are coming out nicely. I still have some horses coming out. So right now I have a good balance of some army going on right now. I'm not too afraid of anybody being able to pass this right now, unless they come at me a lot more. I'm going to send my archeries down here to guard this point right here, because if I was the yellow, I would come straight across. And this would probably be their entry point right over here or over here. So I have my setups here. But you never know until they start doing it, so. But one can only guess.
Ready. Yay.
Okay.
Greten, yay, mandatum,
I'm creating more farms.
Bolden,
All right, and I'm going to go ahead. Once these things are done, I'm going to go ahead and advance to the Imperial Age, and we will be set because I have enough resources for all of that. I don't really want to expand more of my army just yet because there's no point. They're not attacking us, and I have more than enough room to be able to advance to the next. I want to focus on upgrading our tools before we get to the next stage. One of the things that we probably should start getting ready for is a blacksmith. You can see one of them has advanced forward as a scout, as an archery, but you can see my castle and watchtower are shooting arrows at them without me having to go over there. And they're doing a fine job making sure that he is not going to live very much longer. I'm going to go ahead and create maybe 3 horses, archers, and that way they can start collecting him. I'm not too worried about little tiny guys, one single scouts coming through. I'm worried more about the bigger hulks of armies. I'm going to go ahead and create a blacksmith. So I'm going to select a villager. And I'm going to build a blacksmith right over here next to my military buildings. And it does not matter where I put my buildings. It's easier for me to remember where I put them if I keep them all in a segregated area. Okay, I don't like how this guy is just wandering around my town. I don't like it. I'm gonna go ahead. So if I highlight the archers and I have a little sword, I right click on this guy, they're gonna go straight after him. And they killed him immediately. So that was awesome. And I'll just have him chill there for a little bit. Now, you can upgrade all your military buildings and still be not as powerful as you can be. And by being more powerful, you can create a blacksmith. So what I want to do is highlight the blacksmith, and I'm going to go ahead and sharpen scale armor, scale branding, and I have archery going on. Archers and cavalry archers have 1% pierce armor. So all this right here, I want to upgrade all of it. And that way my armor and my swords and my attack will be a little bit better than most. And I don't know where they are right now, but you can see the score right now. We are ahead of the blue and the yellow. Keep an eye on your population. I can only create 10 more people, so I'm going to go ahead and create another house. And I'm going to go ahead and create the houses right over here. And that way it gives me probably about another comfortable number. I don't have to worry about them for a little bit more. And these guys have finished the gold, so I want them to start building more gold, but I don't want them to walk from here to there. I want to build a better mine, so I'm going to go ahead and just create a mine cart here. I don't like how it's so close to the edge over here, so somebody could just come in and kill all my villagers. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a watchtower right there, and that will keep them thinking twice about advancing forward. And we're doing pretty good. So we got a good defense going on. We have our armies. I have an army sitting here waiting for somebody to come in. I have blocked it off. I got that blocked off. You can see the blue is looking around. I want to get that relic. The relics and the monks will gather gold a lot faster. And you can see we've upgraded. So now I'm on to the next upgrading. So now we are a lot sharper and a lot more dangerous than we were before.